Since the announcement of Ghost in the Shell, the fan base has been split, with many up in arms, refusing to go and see the live-action recreation of their favourite anime. But having seen the film, we're here to tell you why you should in fact definitely go and see Ghost in the Shell.
Something else you should watch are our hot videos here on GameSpot Universe. If you've still got that anime itch, we've got you covered, as well as all things movies, TV, comics and wrestling.
Now, before someone hacks my brain to stop me from making this video, here's 5 reasons why you should check out Ghost in the Shell.
Honestly, I'm not a fan of watching 3D movies. The tickets are more expensive, they make you look like a guy out of an 80s movie, and they don't really add much to the experience. Plus, they tickle the bridge of my nose. But Ghost in the Shell honestly surprised me with how good its mix of visual effects and use of 3D actually is. Even without the third dimension, the movie looks incredible. The combination of visual and physical effects blends so well that I often had a hard time trying to determine what came out of a prop maker's workshop and what was rendered on a computer. In everything from the robots, vehicles, weapons, and the special abilities tech augments provide, each detail the movie wants to show you melds together seamlessly. Things move, operate, and look in a way that creates a believable and consistent style. Thought and attention has been put into the aesthetic of Ghost in the Shell, and the eye-popping visuals truly honor the spirit of Mamoru Oishii's original animated features, all while adding a sense of scale and depth that could only be possible on the big screen. Basically, Ghost in the Shell looks so good that it made me glad I was wearing those stupid, uncomfortable, slightly too heavy indoor sunglasses.
Now, I don't know what 2029 Japan is going to look like, but if it's anything even close to the cities and vistas that you get to see in Ghost in the Shell, then I'm going to go and never, ever leave. When the movie scales back to show you the wider world surrounding the characters of Ghost in the Shell was when it got its first wow from me. The nameless city has so much character to it. As soon as I saw the sprawling vistas of giant holograms and light, and the streets and alleys filled with the enhanced, each telling their own story, I knew I'd be getting the Blu-ray just so I could slowly revisit each one of these scenes. But the level of detail extends far and wide. Between the moments of story and action, Ghost in the Shell gives you these visual treats that tell their own story, connecting each scene. I almost wanted the projectionist to pause the movie so I could study the new eclectic cyberpunk skylines of this virtual city. My eyes darted from background character to background character as Major walked through the streets, her intriguing surroundings and background cast stealing my attention away as one flashy moment of intrigue gave way to another moment of technological eccentricity. Now, if Ghost in the Shell is in fact set in the year 2029, then, well, Blackpool Lights really have a way to go in the next 12 years.
Takeshi Kitano, better known as Beat Takeshi, is one of Japan's biggest and most talented entertainment icons, so his inclusion in Ghost in the Shell gives it some legitimacy. Just so you know how badass this dude is, his dad was a suspected Yakuza. He grew up in a neighborhood full of Yakuza and then played a Yakuza in a bunch of his movies. His CV is pretty formidable too. He's done stage comedy, acted in 64 films including classics like Brother and Battle Royale. He's directed 19 movies and written 24 films. He's won over 50 awards and designed one of the hardest and worst video games ever made, the sadistic Takeshi's Challenge. He was the warped host of cult TV game show Takeshi's Castle, which was basically 100 people hurting themselves badly in hilarious ways. And now he's bringing his intense, legendary deadpan style to Ghost in the Shell. As Arakami, Kitano serves as the enigmatic leader of Section 9. He has that brooding, mysterious man aura. He looks like an old dude mostly sitting around, but you also know that he's probably not to be trifled with. He's pretty badass. Although Kitano's character doesn't really do much throughout the course of the film, every action he does take feels important and calculated. The perfect actor for a character whose role is to reel in and command a powerful military shell holding the ghost of his agent. I don't want to spoil Kitano's role in Ghost in the Shell, but let's just say his talents aren't wasted. And if you've never seen any of his previous work, I recommend Battle Royale and Brother. And also Takeshi's Castle, obviously.
He'll be singing higher in the morning.
The original Ghost in the Shell was one of the inspirations for The Matrix, and it's clear that the new movie has taken that long overdue favour and snatched some inspiration right back. Ghost in the Shell is less of an action movie and more of a movie with action in it. The scenes are separated into amazing, pristine morsels of choreography and special effects, rather than being smeared and diluted across a whole film. Some of the best scenes from the animated movie are recreated so lovingly, with a real-life cast performing moves that are as much an acrobatic dance as they are a showcase of martial arts. The slow motion and out-of-this-world choreography that The Matrix created off the back of a classic anime like Akira and Ghost in the Shell returns in a more distilled and nuanced way. Impacts and actions will even differ depending on who delivered the blow. A hook from the fist of an enhanced delivers a blow completely different from one thrown by flesh and bone. When Major fires a weapon, she feels no recoil, her synthetic arms absorbing the impact. The action evolves throughout the film. It can take the form of a fluid, high-speed ballet to an intense, high-impact slugfest. It can change from a one-sided, satisfying beatdown to a tense face-off. The element of enhancements and levels of humanity subverting your expectations of any given fight scene. I wasn't quite sure how they deliver on the action of the animated movie, but now I'm both impressed and quite terrified of the prospect of taking a backhand from Major.
You are the first of your kind, Mira.
Please, sedate her.
Ghost in the Shell has somehow managed to bring together a gangster, a superhero, and a Greyjoy. Now that'd be some dinner party.
Scarlett Johansson has faced criticisms in the past due to some of her characters appearing dry and morose. Now, I don't know if her role as Major is just smart casting, great acting, or a combination of both, but her portrayal of a mind lost in an unfamiliar body, a woman who has lost her connection to the world around her, is quite chilling. Seeing her character be disassembled and rebuilt completely dehumanizes her, and her cold demeanor makes you feel as disconnected to her as the characters around her, which is also why the few moments where this very robotic character and very robotic actor show an essence of humanity feels all the more impactful. Pilu Asbæk plays Major's squadmate Bato, who's known for having tiny bin lids for eyes in the anime, but what I noticed most about his portrayal is how the essence of the character changes throughout the movie. If you've seen the original or watched any trailers, you'll know Bato has cybernetic enhancements in place of his eyes. But when this change takes place, the warmth and sense of camaraderie begins to fade as well, as if he's been robbed of part of his humanity now that the windows to his soul have been closed. The more enhancements a character gets, the less emotion they show. This duality is most present with Michael Pitt's character Kuze. The character has such conviction and drive in his words, but conveys them with the cold calculation of a machine. The balance of delivering an impactful performance while also robbing your own words of feeling would be a challenge for any actor, so you'd be forgiven for thinking the cast aren't human after all.
Thanks so much for watching our 5 reasons why you should watch Ghost in the Shell. If you've seen it, make sure you let us know what you think in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for more like this one. We're going through the comments for last week's video, which was all about the Power Rangers, the OG Power Rangers.
The OG Power Rangers, and on the website, GameSpot.com, mrogs3000 says, I briefly met David Yost at Comic-Con. Jealous of that. Cool to meet him, and I let him know that I was a fan of the early seasons before his departure. And then he adds, once that original cast completely left, I pretty much let go and was done with Power Rangers. That's fair, it was pretty much the same for me.
Yeah.
However, if you're a fan of the originals, you should check out the Japanese version, the Power Rangers, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers were based on, as there's a lot of similarities there, and it's a much cooler show, it's a darker show.
They also have like a billion versions of all the Rangers.
Yeah, just the original versions, watch that in Japanese, it's excellent.
We've got a comment on the YouTube from Russell M. Hossein.
It's not related to me at all, no.
I want to see a team up of the original Power Rangers team and the original Saved by the Bell team. Or maybe just have Zach, Kelly, Slater, Screech, and Jesse utilize the power coins. Can you imagine Screech and, what's the robot's name? Alpha in a room together.
That would be so. Can you imagine Principal Belding's head in a giant tube?
As soon as you play that video, every dog's ears in a mile radius could be like,
what is happening over here? Yeah, I don't know about that. Although I do like the idea of Zack as the Red Ranger.
Yeah, he'd nail that.
He's got the swagger.
But you're gonna have to leave Screech at home.
Kill Screech, episode 1.
No. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like I said, hit the like button, subscribe for more, and we will see you next week for another screenplay.
Rangers.